Hey everyone, welcome back to another portfolio update video where I am currently sitting at almost $204,000. I'm sure maybe at some point in this video I may cross 204,000 and fall back below it again. But either way, this was quite a strong week for the portfolio, as I was sort of expecting, as I mentioned in last video. So anyways, we're going to jump into some of the charts briefly later on in this video, as well as answer a question that I've been getting a lot, which is why I hold both VOO and VFV, so be sure to stick around for that. As mentioned, quite an awesome week in the markets. A portfolio is up almost about $12,000 just since last week's video, and the all-time gain is sitting at $75,012.55, or 58.15%. I do believe this is the highest my portfolio has ever been in a video, which is super exciting, but I'm still about $2,000 away from hitting my all-time high of around $206,000. And just like I said, we'll probably see the portfolio surge past 204,000, which it's at, well, we're back down again. That's the crypto market for you, running 24/7. I'm of course recording this after market hours have closed. We're getting closer and closer to 3,000 subscribers. We may even hit it this week. So if you haven't already, firstly, smash the like button below to help me keep doing what I'm doing. And secondly, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, as I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. It might sound crazy, but we are actually on pace to hitting this, and I need your help. Back on over to the TFSA, it's currently valued at $65,116.62, and this week the account increased by $2,581.84, or about 4.13%. All time, the TFSA is up 36.54%, or $17,427.19. Going forward, I'm going to be bringing back the graphic to each of my accounts, covering the transactions in each of my accounts, as requested from a few of you. So just so you know, whenever this graphic is on the screen, this is everything that I've either bought, sold, deposited, or received like dividends or interest since the last portfolio update video. I won't read this stuff off every time in detail, as it's quite repetitive, so I'll let it kind of just linger on the side here of the screen as I cover other things related to the account that I'm currently in. Next up, my RRSP, it's at $57,409.01. This account is up $2,305.85 on the week, or 4.18%. And checking out the all-time performance of the RRSP, it is up a total of $24,350.97, or 73.66%. I'm loving that. The non-registered account is back above $20,000, currently at $20,069.23, on a gain this week of $582.46, or just under 3%. And the all-time performance of this account is up $7,072.19, or 54.41%. Bitcoin and the altcoins were on a rocket ship to end this week, to say the least. I think Bitcoin ended up reaching about 106,000 US dollars here on Friday this week. So this account, of course, is going to reflect that. It's currently at $43,877.35, up a total of $5,189.30, and or 13.41% just this week alone. Checking out the all-time performance of the crypto account, it's up $30,677.35, or 232.4%. Holy. Last account here, the cash account, it's at $17,498.01. And still in the next upcoming weeks, I am going to be taking a good chunk out of here, probably about $3,000 to $4,000. So again, just a heads up on that. All right, over here on VOO, or the S&P 500, last week, I did mention that we were getting down on the chart here to this sort of trend line, and I did have a little bit of conviction that this week we would bounce off of this line, which is kind of crazy because on Monday we literally touched this support and went right back up. And, you know, I don't really care for the day-to-day stuff of the markets, as I am in this for the long term, but it's always fun to kind of see, like, it's fun to see your money go up on the short term. Like, you know, when you have a bad week in the markets, like it does hurt a little bit, but as long as you're in it for the long term, it's like it doesn't really matter. But like I said, it's always fun watching your money grow, regardless of the time scale that you're on. And as it stands right now, I think we are shaping up to have quite a nice week in the market again, but I don't have a crystal ball. We will see about that. Now over here on the Bitcoin chart, we did kind of break a downward trend right here. And I mean, if I say so, Bitcoin's looking pretty good as well for the upcoming week. I would not be surprised in the slightest if my portfolio was at pretty much new all-time highs this upcoming week, which would be absolutely crazy, but we'll see what happens. A question I've been getting a lot is, why do I own VFV and VOO? If you did not know, I own VFV in both my TFSA and my non-registered account. I do not own VFV within my RRSP. And that is because the underlying holdings in VFV are USD stocks. So basically, when VFV receives the dividends on their end before it hits you, they're getting charged the 15% withholding tax on US dividends before it ever reaches your pocket. So although you're not going to see any deviation from the dividend that you receive from VFV, the tax is taken off before you even get it. Whereas VOO, since I own it in my RRSP, I don't have to pay that 15% withholding tax on the dividends I receive. And if you did not know, in your RRSP, any US dividends are not subject to the 15% withholding tax whatsoever. So it's always good to hold your USD dividend payers in your RRSP. But you may be asking, well, why don't you just own VFV in your RRSP and you won't have to pay the dividend? Well, as I mentioned, you're getting charged that 15% withholding tax in VFV before it ever even hits your account. So no matter what account you own VFV in, you will have to pay the 15% withholding tax. Whereas if, for example, you owned VOO in a TFSA, RRSP, and non-registered account, or even FHSA, you have to pay the 15% withholding tax before it hits you in your TFSA, your FHSA, and your non-registered account. Whereas in the RRSP, you will be eligible for the full dividend payment. Hopefully that all makes sense and clears the air on that. Anyways, back over here on my portfolio tracking spreadsheet, which is currently saying my portfolio is at $203,688.34. For some reason, this has not been calculating the right numbers for the last few weeks. There's been something going on with the USD to CAD conversion on my spreadsheet. So this is not accurate whatsoever to what my Wealthsimple account is saying. But anyways, not really a whole lot to cover here. In a couple weeks, we'll be, of course, putting in a new bar on the charts. But I will hop over to all of my holdings so that if you want to pause and see all my holdings and all my average cost basis and how much in dividends I receive from each position, you can go ahead and pause here at any point as I'm scrolling down. And I'll also swing over to my crypto holdings as well, so you can see all that. As for dividend totals / interest totals for 2025, we did not receive anything whatsoever this week, so still at about $250 total for 2025 so far. Alright, so that's going to do it for this portfolio update video. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you have made it this far, be sure to smash the like button below, and be sure to subscribe as well. We're super close to 3,000, and we're trying to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark by the end of the year. Other than that, thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.